Coming up right now, it would not be life in the outback without a confrontation with a kangaroo. We're going to tell you how this ends.
Also coming up, have you ever heard of a 7-figure speeding ticket? Well, it happened to one guy who was definitely going way too fast and then got way too furious.
A little bit later on, a creepy clown is taunting a neighborhood in Scotland. And cops are working overtime to track him down before, somebody else does.
Ooh, Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, welcoming you to Daily Flash. We got a great show all lined up, ready to go with you. Matt Doolittle's hanging out with us. Matt, what's our word of the day today, Matt?
It is bumfuzzle.
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 Can you say that in a sentence, please?
I am absolutely ready to bumfuzzle.
Okay. Well, we'll have police standing by. I love it. Bumfuzzle.
Okay.
I'm going to try to work that into
a real word.
I'm not sure how I can do that.
All right. Okay, big day today for Britney Spears.
Oh, yeah.
Her memoir comes out today. And boy, is there some revelations in this book.
I was hearing some taunting about this, and then I'm like, come on, this would have come out a while back, but not necessarily the case, huh?
She reveals that she got pregnant while she was dating Justin Timberlake when she was just 19 years old. He said, according to her, this is according to her, Justin Timberlake so far has not spoken out about this, but she says that he was not ready to be a father, and so she ended up having an abortion. And to this day, it's something that she regrets 100%.
Yeah, well, and she's a mother, obviously, with Federline and everything. And I think that, this is somebody that we've seen her struggle. We see these videos are coming out. We don't know what's going on, but you realize it kind of tells you a little bit more about her life. That you think that they're secluded from things, but I really think she's just stunted growth-wise when she becomes that big, right?
Right. That when you become that kind of a sensation at such a young age, and I guess there's another revelation about her. Remember when she went bald when she shaved her hair off?
And the umbrella.
Yes, and everybody thought she was having a mental breakdown. Apparently, it was in response to her father who wanted to start the conservatorship, and he was telling her, you have to keep your hair long, you have to do this, you have to do that. So apparently, she went into a barber shop and said, or a hair shop or whatever it was, and said, I need to have my hair shaved off. And they said, no, we won't do it. And she did it herself.
Wow.
Yeah. The Woman in Me is the name of her book.
The Woman in Me, and that is out today, right?
Out today.
Well, they're saying in the Everything video, everybody's pointing out all these things and they're ripping through her songs to see during that period when she was talking about babies and kids and everything. So there's all these, everybody's putting the dots together about, that was going on. And then, Justin had like Bye 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 right after that.
Yes, or Crimea River.
Crimea River. So that there's a whole connection of stuff. It's a big conspiracy theory.
Like in Oops, She Did It Again, she goes, bite, bite, bite. That's what she's talking about? All right, let's go down under, shall we? A man has gone viral after he filmed himself rushing to an outback river to save his dog from being drowned by a wild kangaroo. That is a pot of words that I never thought I'd say together.
Terrifying.
Unfortunately, the man's skill at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, no match for the 7-foot kangaroo. You can hear the man cussing at the kangaroo as the wild animal holds the dog just above the water. Moments later, the kangaroo is seen lunging at the man. Look at him, dude. He looks like Tyson, man. Right before the video cuts back and it goes to black rather than it hits the water, we're happy to report that the man, the dog, and the kangaroo all survived the ordeal. No harm done. And convincing me, once again, that kangaroos are just deers that went to prison and just worked out.
Cell Block C.
Cell Block C, man. They're massive up here.
They look otherworldly to me, don't they? When you look at their human-like but alien-like. And what I found fascinating, there are twice as many kangaroos in Australia than there are people.
People have barricades in Australia to keep the kangaroos out of their house because they'll just push their way through the door.
My goodness, so much for the cute little baby roos that you see, the Joeys.
Winnie the Pooh lied to me.
They say they're really aggressive too.
I believe it. Look at that. Well, a man caught speeding down a Georgia freeway was surprised when police handed him a $1.4 million speeding ticket. Connor Cato was driving through Savannah when Georgia State Patrol caught him going 90 in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. Mitch English. Luckily for Cato, the $1 million fine actually reflected a placeholder for a mandatory court appearance.
Yeah.
The ticket was generated by e-citation software used by the local court and automatically applies to super speeders, Mitch English. Anyone caught speeding more than 35 miles over the posted speed limit, Mitch English, must appear in court with a judge who determines the final amount, and that amount cannot exceed $1,000.
Yeah, it was up there. And I was in that neighborhood too. And I called up. I was like, "Well, I'm going to get out of this one. I'm going to call one of those billboard. Get out your speeding ticket." My hand to the heavens. The lawyer. He goes. Yeah, you ain't going to win this. And he goes. If you don't go to, they will bring a jury, and you have to prove it too. And he goes, and I'm telling you, you could win, you might not win. And he goes, I'm just telling you, you're going to want to pay this. It's not a good situation because they put it that high to make sure that he came into the court.
Can I tell you something? Don't speed through Virginia either, because it's just as bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they don't. That was the state that doesn't allow radar detectors too. I know that.
71 in South Carolina. If you have a Florida tag, they will nail you.
They'll get you if you have your tags.
I was 5 over, 280. $280 for 5 over.
What state is that?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
71.
I always, when I would write out, because I've gotten a lot of checks, at the bottom of it, I would always write the checkout. I'd write revenue enforcement. It just made me feel better. It didn't do anything, but it just made me feel better. All right, we go from one scary situation to another. A creepy clown. He's posted video of himself taunting authorities and threatening a small village in Scotland. When I say Scotland, I gotta say this. The stranger is dressed up as Pennywise from Stephen King's It.
Nope.
We all know about that movie. Facebook account for the Skelmorley clown has been set up with the name Cole Demos, claiming he studied at a clown school. Now, in Greek mythology, Demos, am I saying that right? Demos?
I think so, yeah.
Is the personification of fear, with the name loosely translating as dread. His latest video features a message to the media with a heavily distorted voice track, and it mocks local cops for failing to identify him.
Okay, so here's the thing. This guy, if he's not careful, a resident is going to kill him because he's terrifying. And I think that he should be more scared of somebody saying, all right, get this freaking clown out of my neighborhood because he's threatening and terrifying.
No, that you said you're scaring my kids, and that's when Mama Bear and Daddy Bear go into action. No, I'm serious. You're going around scaring my kids. Now they're wanting to make sure it stops. So yeah, he's probably a good idea for him to just.
Is there anything more terrifying than a heavily accented Scottish clown?
That's a very good question.
Actually, knowing what goes into the Big Mac, which is another clown that'll scare you altogether too. So that'll.
The Ronald McDonald.
The McDonald's.
Different clown.
Oh, it is. My bad.
Yeah, different clown. A woman is taking heat for wearing an altered wedding dress on her twins' big wedding day. Anastasia DeMonico posted her look on social media and explained she was wearing her own wedding dress with a few alterations. Social media mob flipped out that she would wear the dress on her twins' big day. However, since she was the maid of honor, her twin actually wanted her to stand out. Anastasia says it was really her twin's idea for her to wear the dress. It ended up being a non-traditional wedding with everyone, the guests included, wearing black and white.
Yeah, let them, especially if you're twin and you're the maid of honor. Yeah, some people, y'all need to stop this yelling at people. She's a lovely girl too.
She is, yes.
We go now to a story of a 100-year-old man. He got to experience an A-list lifestyle by living in Brad Pitt's $39 million home until he died. All of it rent-free. Oddly enough, Pitt didn't even intend to become a landlord when he bought the lavish home back in 1994. The Hollywood star spent 3 decades at the residence. He noticed the area was starting to get a little overdeveloped. Apparently, Pitt felt bad for one of his elderly neighbors who was in his 90s at the time and offered him the chance to live in his home rent-free. The arrangement continued slightly longer than to be expected since the man lived to be 105 years old. And, these are the sides of the stories that you don't necessarily always get to hear, but Brad Pitt seems apparently like a genuine, nice guy, good guy.
Here, I'm gonna lend you my home because I know you're 90 and you're probably gonna die soon, but you'll live another 15 years.
It was, that would be mine, right?
No good deed goes unpunished.
Right, and you hear about things, and it could be, well, if somebody else lives there, maybe he can tax write-off or whatever. I don't know, but I think he was doing it actually as genuine, as being a good guy.
How about the lady that's crashed the Airbnb had rent-free in a fancy Brentwood neighborhood in Los Angeles.
not heard about
Oh
this.
my goodness.
Yeah?
So she's basically squatting in this beautiful Brentwood home and refuses to leave. And she claims that she can't leave because she can't live anywhere else. And LA
those laws
laws
let you
are
do it.
allowing her to stay there. And this poor guy has this woman on his property he can't get rid of.
I
what
heard the
you're
exact same
saying-
story, except it happened up in the Northeast. I can't remember which state. The guy, it was a 2-story. He wound up because squatting on it,
Yeah.
and then subleasing the basement out. So he was making money off
No!
of it. So he not paying, but then yet making money off of it. The guy's like, I can't get this guy out of my house
Yeah.
because the way the process goes in order to kick somebody out of your home takes
Crazy.
months sometimes.
Yeah, in this case, years for this poor guy
Yeah.
in California.
We're not going to make you wait that long. You can stay with us rent-free right after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. When it comes to posting video online, let's face it, there are a lot of major fails.
Major. Our next guest wants to change all of that. He's a veteran writer, producer, and Hollywood director. His book and video series is called, very appropriately, How to Shoot Video That Doesn't Suck. Please welcome to Daily Flash, Steve Stockman. Steve, thank you for joining us.
Whoa, applause and everything.
Yes.
Absolutely, of course.
So, Steve, what's the biggest problem you see when it comes to the videos that people share?
I think that we all grew up watching video from the time we were 0. So we think that we understand it. And we do really, you know, you can always figure out what's going on in the TV procedural that you're watching. But the fact that we understand it doesn't mean that we speak it very well. So I think the real problem is that video is a language and most of us really suck at it.
Okay.
Which is fair because, until we got these things, nobody ever asked us to shoot video before, right? It was something that only pros did. So I think that's the big problem. And so what I want to do is kind of bring some of the things that Hollywood pros and film professionals all over the world do to everyone's videos so that we can start communicating a little bit better and have more fun with it.
Okay, and you say actually it's not about the technology. Technology can only go a certain amount of ways, right?
Yes, this is true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, if you look at all the great mid 20th century directors, the Alfred Hitchcocks of the world, right? Like they would be so jealous if you showed them one of these.
Right.
I mean, they would go nuts because they needed a crew of 100 people to do all that lighting and all the camera moves and all that. And we carry this thing around in our pockets. So I think we have to appreciate that we have something that's technologically very advanced, but there are also a lot of things that we can learn from the way people have been doing film and video
Okay.
for years.
Steve, you sent us some video that you shot, some Halloween video, and we're going to roll that video right now if we can, please. And if, Steve, you can walk us through some of the techniques that you use in this video and how we can learn from them.
Sure. So the first thing when you think about holiday video is that you have to think about your video in shots. So you'll notice that this video is shot in very short little pieces. And if you look at any TV show or movie or great video that you're watching on YouTube or wherever, you'll see the exact same thing. We shoot video in 1 to 8 second pieces for the most part.
Right.
And that's because we get bored when we don't get more visual information. And so when you see people, I saw a dad at a kid's cello recital, who had his camera on a tripod, and through the entire recital, he just kept going back and forth and back and forth with his tripod. And he did that for like 45
That
minutes.
had to drive
And I
you
thought,
crazy.
no one's ever going to watch this video.
No, you're right. You're right.
So I
Is
went up
it
to-
part of the ADD generation as well? I mean, that we, because of TikTok and all that, we can't.
Because once
sit
you
still?
learn it, you'll never do it again. So
Yeah.
what I want you to do this holiday is shoot short shots, right? So pros do it. We shoot slightly longer shots and then we have people edit it for weeks and weeks. But you can do it if you're lazy, like I am when you're shooting home video, is just make sure you're not rolling the camera for more than 5 or 8 seconds. You want to point at what you're going to point at and get a really nice picture, and think of your camera as a still camera, roll off 5 or 8 seconds and then stop. And that's what I did with this this Halloween demo.
Is the magic in editing? I mean, Scorsese's got his next film. It's 3.5 hours long, I believe, coming out, right? I mean, is the magic all in editing?
It's funny because editing really at its simplest is cut, copy, paste. just
Right.
like Microsoft Word, right?
Yeah.
So we all get hung up on, oh, the techniques and the editing and the toys and the buttons, and none of that is important. What's really important if you're doing video for your holidays is you want to take your video and then you just want to cut out everything that looks terrible.
Okay.
And that's all you need to do. Just delete it and your video will instantly be so much better.
There's brilliance in brevity. So Mitch has his phone here with us in studio, Steve, and we'd love just to get a few pointers from you with some of the live video that we're shooting here in studio, some good do's and don'ts.
All right.
Ooh, look at that.
Okay.
That's cool.
So the
Well, so-
distance, I noticed like in the video you shot, you were pretty close up
Yeah.
to the subject. I mean,
Yeah, and
what are we
thank
talking?
you for noticing that. That's a big one. So what I like to say is don't shoot until you see the whites of their eyes.
Okay.
And the reason we say that is because video is about people, right? I mean, you can do, maybe you don't have to like surgically.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah. Videos, it's about people, right? The turkey is going to look the same every year, more or less. The tree is going to look the same every year, more or less, right? But we change and we don't look the same as we did 10 years ago. And we don't think the same as we did 10 years ago, especially if we are now 15 and we used to be 5, right?
Yes.
So if you're shooting home video, you want to make sure that you're on people's faces because those are the things that you're going to want to remember. So being close is a great instinct, and we tend not to do it because we feel like we're in the middle of everything and everyone's looking at us, and it's really uncomfortable unless you're a professional, you know, who's used to having a camera like this.
Right.
You know, it's weird, but try it. Stay a little bit closer. The other thing for home video, there's no such thing as a Zoom microphone. Right. So if you're way on the other side of the room, you can't hear anything that's going on.
Yeah, I think that's where technology comes in. They have those wireless microphones that you could put on, and even boom mics somewhat, so you can hook up to your iPhone. But yeah, I think people forget that all the time that they're talking, and you hear yourself because you're right next to the phone, and you're really loud, and you can't hear the other person.
What
Keep
about
that in mind.
the view from above versus the view from below?
Yeah.
That angle.
You know, I think that we tend again to hold the video or the camera where our eyes are, especially, you know, when we're using cell phones to shoot with. And that's great because it's normal. That's the way we see the world. But if you watch a movie, you're going to see people on the floor. You're going to see the camera come out of the refrigerator.
Yeah.
All kinds of angles. So try it. Be creative.
Thank you, Steve. This is good stuff. If you want more information on Steve, his book, and his video course, just go to his website, stevestockman.com. We have that link on our website.
Thanks.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. What's true and what's a lie when it comes to today's automotives? Lauren Fix, the car coach, breaks down those myths in today's Car Smarts.
There are so many automotive myths or common beliefs or something your buddy told you as fact about your car, but much of it is total BS or rubbish. But what of it is really the truth? I'm sure a few come to your mind immediately. Let's correct the record, and then you can share it with your friends and your family and give them car smarts, and you can also say, I told you so. You should warm up your vehicle for a long time before driving it. Well, warming up your car for today's technology and new cars is a total myth. However, that doesn't mean start the car, slam on the gas, and start driving away like a maniac. Newer engines need less warm-up time than older cars, and you need to warm up the engine for a minute before you start driving. In severe cold weather, I'd suggest a minute longer or two to lubricate the motor. The best way to get your engine warm up is to actually start the vehicle and start driving it. Idling the car in the driveway will make very little difference and will only end up wasting both time and gasoline at 0 miles to the gallon. Indeed, the only reason to start your car running before you start driving it is to help clear the front and rear windshields of ice and snow, or to give your heating system a chance to warm up. New car dealers are out to screw every customer. Well, customer satisfaction and word of mouth is a large component in dealer profitability. The car companies recognize that a consumer's intent to purchase the next new car from that same brand was impacted by how the dealer treated them. That's both in the purchase of the car as well as any services that were done or performed at that dealership. The car companies have incentivized dealers by offering piles of money, and I mean big piles of money, for dealers who have achieved high customer satisfaction scores. That's why the dealer's always telling you that if someone should call, always rate the dealer a 10. Or if conceivable, that dealer could make more money by getting a 10. Well, that is true, but they want to make sure you're happy, and dealers want happy customers. The penny test. If you want to check how worn your tires are, you can use a penny. That's true. Some people use a quarter, but either coin will work. Take the coin and place it in the tread or the sipes, which are the valleys in between the tire. And if you can see the top of Lincoln or Washington's hairdo, you need new tires. If you see the top of Abe's head, well, that's 2/30 seconds because tire tread is measured in 30 seconds of an inch. And 2/30 seconds is the legal minimum for tire wear and could impact your safety. By the way, a quarter with the face of George Washington is 4/30 seconds. It is a much better gauge of when you should start shopping for tires. A tire with 2/30 seconds is much more likely to hydroplane, so the quarter test is no myth. I'm Lauren Fix, and you can find this information on my website, carcoachreports.com and dailyflashshow.com.
Thanks, Lauren. Okay, last week in Furry Friends, we talked about being proactive about making your house bear-proof for the winter months, when they might be trolling through your garbage. Well, there's not a lot you could do about this. This bear in Connecticut made his way into this family's kitchen and helped himself to some frozen lasagna. Footage of the break-in was captured on the homeowner's Ring security camera, and the bear was in there for 35 minutes. He went through the whole house. The bear breaks into the fridge, takes the Italian dish, and makes a beeline for the woods. Luckily, no one was home when the bear made his way in. The homeowner said, "I knew no one was supposed to be home, so I checked it out, and it was a bear." Can you imagine being at work and going on your phone going, What is going on?
It's amazing. He knew like right where to go, it looks like. He just went right through the window too.
Knew how to open it, and now he's going to go back and tell all his bear friends, and you're going to have a whole Bambi movie going on in your kitchen.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, and before, if you live in an area where bears are around, especially this time of year, make sure you lock up your garbage, and I guess in this case, your back door.
Back door.
Yeah. And in other bear-related stories, this was the rescue of a dog from a cave, and it got a lot more complicated when the local fire department found more than just the dog stuck in the cave.
Okay.
The dog Charlie spent nearly 3 days stuck in a cave about 40 feet deep on an English mountain in eastern Tennessee. Now, the rope teams from several departments attempted to help out, but when they descended into the cave, they found a 2-year-old black bear sleeping just 5 feet below. Her trapping the hunting dog farther in the cave, the rescuers sent a camera to catch the bear leaving, and when it did, they jumped into action and got Charlie out of there safe. Cool. Charlie was safely rescued and found to be dehydrated and hungry, but was otherwise in good condition. And the crazy part with this was they didn't think they were going to be able to go down and save him of how deep he was in the cave.
Oh, really?
They were really freaked out that they were just going to have to leave poor Charlie down there, and they're like, we can't get him.
And then once they could, then the bear, they didn't want to wake up the bear.
They didn't want to wake up the bear, but the bear left on the camera, so they were like, okay, now we can go get him. And they were like, he's a little too far. He wiggled his way up, and they were able to get him out, and now he's all safe.
Good to hear that, because bears, when they sleep, they like to take their time
kept going.
off.
It took him about 3 days for them to see him leave, so it's nuts.
Glad to hear him that he's doing just great. Hey, we have got more Flash coming up right around the corner here. You don't want to go anywhere and miss out at all. Of course, we want to remind you, our website has all the links and things that we've talked about. You can even watch full episodes of our show at dailyflashshow.com.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
We love our Netflix, don't we? Netflix just has done everything. Everybody knows when you talk about watching a movie online, say, well, Netflix it. It's part of our lexicon, if you will. They are kind of taking a a look at kind of what Disney did with the Galactic Star Cruiser experience, Star Wars, where you go to this hotel and it's an immersive hotel. You're really going on a cruise to outer space, and you had to come up with a character and that sort of thing. Netflix is doing it. They're building these homes starting in 2025 that are called Netflix houses. And you know how Netflix has movies out right now. I'm being dead serious. You will go to this town and they'll sell all kinds of merchandise in there. They'll have actors that will be.
This is like the Truman Show come to life.
You could go into this. So let's say if you're a big fan of Fubar, the Schwarzenegger movie, right? That came out where he's kind of like a bounty hunter and a secret agent. So you would go there and they would have characters there inside these buildings that are like in the movie, and then you could buy merchandise from the movie too, as well, and maybe even watch it or even have a convention there and all your friends. So if you're a big follower of those, Downton Abbey, I think, is one that they were talking about as well, in Bridgerton. Bridgerton, rather. So you would go there, and maybe everybody would talk English, and they'd be wearing their outfits and all that.
There's a reason a Star Cruiser shut down after just a year for $5,000 for 2 people for 2 days.
Yeah.
But imagine, I think you can just go. Anybody can go to it.
How much is this? Do you have to pay for it?
Well, they don't have any prices out as of yet, but it's a fan experience where you could go in and buy the merch. It's basically at the end of every ride that you go to, you walk through the big gift shop.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that, but it's also going to be staffed by people dressed up as characters.
Please
from the TV
exit
show.
through the gift shop.
Which you will always will.
So,
And if you walk into the gift shop, there's really
So
no way
can
to
you
get out.
stay there, or is it just kind of like an attraction?
It's going to be like an attraction, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think necessarily they're calling them houses right now. They have not determined which city they're going to be in, but these are going to be brick and mortar.
They're just trying to be Westworld. Everything's trying to be Westworld now.
100% Westworld, which is a great show.
Life imitating art.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, check this out. A man has gone viral after he filmed himself rushing into an outback river to save his dog from being drowned by a wild, frightening kangaroo. Unfortunately, the man's skills at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu were no match for this 7-footer. You can hear the man cursing at the kangaroo as the wild animal holds his dog just above the water. Moments later, the kangaroo is seen lunging at the man with its arms and claws visible before the video cuts to black and hits the water. We are happy to report, though, that the dog, the man, and the kangaroo all survived the ordeal with no harm done. Just a lot of frayed nerves after the fact.
So who won the fight, you think? I think I've heard people saying the kangaroo really kicked the guy's
I think it was
butt.
the kangaroo, but you got to say, there's 2 people in the world that are built different: Australians and Floridians. Because we will jump in the water here to fight a gator over our dog, and so will the Aussies.
That's a great
the
point.
kangaroos.
And if I've noticed anything from any cartoon, a kangaroo gets on their tail and they can kick it with those other feet. So not only
that's what
are they
Warner
built
Brothers
right
taught
here,
me.
you know?
Fine.
Bugs Bunny fought many kangaroos.
Right.
True, but he didn't have that extra tail to
lift
pivot
it up
off
and
of.
kick 'em.
Yes.
It's a heck of a move. It was a man that was caught speeding down a Georgia freeway, and he was surprised when cops handed him a $1.4 million speeding ticket. His name was Connor Cato. He was driving through Savannah, Georgia, when the state patrol there caught him going 90 and a 55.
Was this you, Mitch?
It was not me, but I have a ticket going above that.
Were you running shine?
Running shine.
Yeah, I was running shine. I had to get the Texarkana. Anyway, luckily for Cato, the $1 million fine actually just basically was a placeholder for a mandatory court appearance. The ticket was generated by e-citation software used by the local court and automatically applies to super speeders. Anyone caught speeding more than 35 miles over the posted speed limit must appear in court with a judge who determines that final amount. That must have changed because I was well over that and I didn't have to go. You can get a big fine, but it's not going to be over $1,000, and I paid near just about that much.
About $1,000.
And I could not get out of it whatsoever.
And do you drive through Georgia?
Nope.
Okay.
No. We went on a trip to South Carolina, and
You drove all the way around?
No, Liza drove the entire time. I had to sit in the passenger seat, and it's easier actually because she's like, well, you're speeding.
Is she a backseat driver?
Oh, yeah. So it's just easier. She just drives, and I just sit there. We'll drive our way to some Life Love shopping. That's coming up right after this.
If you live it, love it, or buy it, we talk about it on Life Love Shopping. Okay, here we go. First up, experts say there are 5 things that could be killing your love life. They say overall health and aging are key factors, but other things can make it worse. We'll start with this one, fatty foods. Foods high in the unhealthy fats could clog arteries and slow you down. Researchers say eating a diet high in saturated fats could prevent you from rising to the occasion, so to speak. They also say ED could be an early sign that your diet is off course and you could be headed for a heart attack. The other factor here, eating too much sugar. If your diet is full of sweets, your pancreas might be working overtime to bring insulin levels down. The more sugar you eat, the more this never-ending cycle could be affecting your love life. They also say drugs and alcohol are a big factor. We've all heard the phrase liquid courage, right? Well, however, consuming high levels of adult substances can raise your blood pressure and your cholesterol, which in turn can impact your sex drive. Some prescription meds could also dampen the mood. Smoking, this is a big one. Nicotine in cigarettes can constrict the flow of blood through your arteries. Health experts say benefits from quitting this habit can happen within weeks, but it could take months for your sex drive to recover. And stress, this is a big one. Stress could have an adverse effect on hormones and your libido. Your body goes into overdrive with increased levels of adrenaline. This in turn could cause difficulty for someone to stay in the moment. Stress also causes cortisol to spike, which can affect your mood. There are ways to improve your love life if you are struggling between the sheets, the experts say. Eat healthier foods. You can also practice breathing exercises. Also, try meditation. Seek advice through therapy. And a new study even suggests radio waves could get things moving in the right direction. Have you ever been stuck with a song playing over and over in your head? If so, you've likely been the victim of an earworm. Experts can't pinpoint what causes them, but they believe earworms are connected to three things: boredom, recognition, and timing. In a recent article in Wired magazine, they say scientists call them INMI, or involuntary music imagery. There are a few ways you can get rid of the earworm. You can complete the song, listen to it all the way through, and that might satisfy your brain. You can also distract yourself. Experts say load up on memes when you're trying to out a pesky earworm. Diversify your playlist. Try putting together a playlist with a variety of music. This will keep your brain busy with different tempos. And mix up the lyrics. Try swapping out a catchy lyric with new words. Instead of "I can't get no satisfaction," try singing "I want more eggs and bacon." This might throw your brain off course. And a word to the wise here: don't try and stop an earworm, because it might make it worse. And remember, earworms don't discriminate. They can find their way in with great tunes and even with some of the most annoying ones. Well, check this out. Hollywood legend James Dean will be resurrected thanks to AI for a new movie called Back to Eden. Dean died in a car crash back in 1955 as his career was in high gear. Now, the BBC says the new movie with an A-list AI James Dean will feature him in a journey across America. Hollywood insiders say the move is risky, especially for younger audiences who prefer to see themselves as a star than seeing someone else's one. Despite the influencer market taking a bite out of Hollywood, actors on strike say AI is one of their big concerns. Actor Robin Williams has a clause in his will stating that his likeness cannot be used for 25 years after his death. And both Dolly Parton and Whoopi Goldberg have nixed the idea of their recreation after they've passed on. Okay, Boomer, here's some advice from the Zoomers, or Gen Zers, in your life. Do you work with someone born between 1997 and 2012? Then you most likely have a Gen Zer in your midst. The New York Post recently revealed a quick guide to the ultimate Gen Z slang. Let's start with an easy one even Beyonce loves to say. Slay, used to describe someone's appearance. Your look slays. To serve refers to a look. He's serving in those jeans. Dupe, short for duplicate or knock off. Your Walmart bag is Prada dupe. Nobody dupes Life Love Shopping. For more information, head to our website, llsshow.com.
KSA Entertainment believes in our communities. We value those who have dedicated their lives to enrich our own. KSA Entertainment is proud to introduce our corporate initiative, KSA Cares. KSA Cares shines a light, gives a voice, and lends a helping hand through compelling awareness initiatives. From supporting veterans to environmental awareness, KSA Entertainment is proud to produce content supporting ways to help communities all across America.
Well, we are getting closer and closer to the holiday entertaining season, and if you are asked at the last minute to bring an appetizer, we have got the solution for you.
Yeah, today we're gonna make a super easy, super tasty goat cheese appetizer, and you don't need a whole lot. This is all that you're gonna need. First off, obviously, some fresh goat cheese log, about 11 ounces or so. You're gonna get yourself about a 1/4 cup of roasted pistachios, chop them all up. 2 tablespoons of honey, some fig jam, and cracker or bread for serving. And Chef Yvonne, who always puts these great tasting things together, is joining us now. What do we got to do, Yvonne, to make this easy? Well,
Beautiful appetizer.
It is really cool.
Yes.
It looks cool too.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. It's always so much fun to be with you. And so today, like you said, Mitch, nothing gets easier than this. So
Okay, good.
let's do it. I think we should even
love
time
it.
ourselves
Okay.
because it's super fast. So Andrea, I would
Yes.
like you to take the goat
Okay,
cheese.
got it.
Just open it up.
Okay.
And then you're going to set it on your pistachio plate.
Okay.
So,
All right, so
yeah.
you crush these up. You basically chop them and then just crush
Right,
them down
you
to
just-
a powder, right?
exactly.
Would you
Just-
get like a Ziploc bag or something?
So you can do it where you can use a mortar.
Party foul.
You can use. I used my my KitchenAid machine. Yeah, my
food processor?
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you. My
Okay.
food processor. That's it. Don't be afraid to just coat it, Andrea. While
Okay.
she's doing that, Mitch, I would like you to take the fig jam
Okay, I'm
and stick it
coating,
in
I'm
the
coating.
microwave for about 10 seconds. Don't let it go much above that. Andrea, you want to make
Yes.
sure that you're also coating the ends.
Oh, the ends. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it,
Very
got
good.
it, okay.
And once you've got pistachios all over your cheese, you want to put it on your.
And your hands.
I got a little something here for you.
Okay, good.
And
okay,
so,
I
yeah,
think
you
I
can
got
put it on your serving tray.
Okay, is this my serving tray here?
Yep,
Okay,
that's
very
it.
good.
That's your
Okay.
serving tray. Now you're gonna grab
All right, 10
the
seconds.
honey.
Okay.
And here, why don't you?
Let me
there you go.
take
I
this
can do
from
that.
you. Yeah, you do the
So-
honey, and I hate to get your beautiful towel. I'll use a paper
All right, 10
towel.
seconds.
Yes. Okay. Perfect, Mitch. Thank you very much. Then you take the honey, and then you drizzle it. You can, make it long strands like this to make it look on
Oh, isn't that pretty? She's such an
presentation. There you go.
artist.
It is
And then,
artistic. Indeed.
Yeah.
And then Mitch, go ahead and put some of the fig jam on top. What I like to do is take some of those chunks and carefully place them on top. It just makes it look a little nicer.
So, yeah, don't just plop it on there. Right?
Exactly. There you go.
As,
Perfect.
as you say, do
That looks
nice and
nice.
neat, and I
Yeah.
didn't do
There
that.
you go.
We'll get this guy at
It's
the
like
end.
a forest log.
There you go. It's a teamwork too.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, so you
Somebody
can,
stuck
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And this fig jam, okay, I couldn't help myself but try it. So it's delicious. So go ahead. And then we recommend that you use some crackers or bread. I went with the hybrid cracker bread.
I like these, yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and try it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's good,
and
isn't
I
it?
think it took less than 30 seconds. And- yeah.
So we're gonna have this recipe on our website,
Yeah.
dailyflashshow.com. This is gorgeous. Yvonne, thank
Easy
you.
to make, too.
course.
Yeah.
There you go. Maddie, what do you got going on, buddy?
Thanks, guys. That looks delicious. Well, Halloween might look a bit different this year when it comes to dressing up. Here's more.
You don't need to put on a costume to have a fun Halloween celebration. PhotoLeap, the mobile all-in-one photo editor, now has AI costumes that will transport you right into the spooky season in just a single tap.
AI is revolutionizing Halloween this year by transforming users' photos into whimsical, funny, or scary scenes. With PhotoLeap AI-powered technology, you can create realistic costumes while ensuring the result looks just like you.
Whether it's reliving animated classics, rocking out as an iconic musician, or even recreating famous movie scenes, AI costumes makes it all possible. In a single tap, replace your ordinary photos with extraordinary ones as AI costumes transports you into scenes from your wildest imagination.
From witches to warlocks, princesses to pumpkins, we are so excited to see how our innovative AI tools will inspire users to be creative and showcase their individuality this Halloween season.
Learn more at photoleapapp.com.
Medicare decisions can be incredibly complicated, but they don't have to be. Joining us now to discuss the annual enrollment period and some common mistakes people make is Medicare expert Ari Parker.
Some of the costliest mistakes that people make is that they don't review their coverage every year. The Medicare open enrollment period ends on December 7th. And what people don't realize is that Medicare plans change every year, just as your health needs change. When it comes to maximizing your benefits and saving money, me and my team use the 3 Ps method, which I write about in my short book on Medicare. It's not that complicated. What are the 3 Ps? The first is your providers. Who are the doctors that you see? The second P is your prescriptions. What medications do you take? Are they brand name or are they generic? What pharmacy do you like to go to? Is mail order okay? The final P is your priorities. What's important to you? For more information, you can visit the government's website, medicare.gov, or you can visit our website, askchapter.org. You can also call us toll-free at 888-487-2023. Me and my team would love to help you, and there's no charge to work with us.
Are you ready to jump into the unexpected with the Flower Kingdom? That's right, it's the release of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Here's more.
We're right here in Rockefeller Plaza, right next to our Nintendo New York store, and we have a lot of fun activities planned for our fans as they help us count down to the launch of the game tonight at midnight.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
One copy of Wonder, I like that. All right. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is the next evolution of Super Mario Fun with a lot of exciting new experiences. It's the first 2D side-scrolling Super Mario game in over 10 years with all new game mechanics. One that I think people are really going to enjoy is it has the largest cast of playable characters in the history of any 2D side-scrolling Super Mario game.
I think it's going to be an excellent game, and I recommend everyone check it out.
All right, let's jump into some trending news. Looks like Ed Sheeran likes to be very prepared. The musician recently revealed that he actually dug his own grave in his backyard. It's all ready to go. The 32-year-old said that when his day comes and he passes away, that is where he wants to be buried, right there. The Shape of You singer said he currently uses the space to mourn people in his life who have actually crossed over. He admits he's used to the area behind his house to host weddings and other celebrations, though, which makes it that much more creepier. However, the reason he dug his own grave is because he wants his own kids to celebrate his life in a familiar place once he's gone. You can't control death. We're all going to die. But how about where you're going to be? You can control that. So I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of creepy, but I agree with you. But it also at the same time.
I like the sentiment behind it, getting his kids ready for that particular thing. Yeah.
We have got, going to get you ready, at least with some more good stuff. We'll talk about some of the great movies coming out. Wonka after this.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Well, it's a story focusing on a young Willy Wonka and how he came to meet the Oompa Loompas on one of his earliest adventures. This is today's must-watch movie, Wonka.
So you're the funny little man who's been following me.
Funny little man? How dare you? I will have you know that I am a perfectly respectable size for an Oompa Loompa.
An Oompa what now?
In fact, in Loompa Land, I am regarded as something of a whopper. They call me Lofty.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. My name is Willy Wonka. You see, I'm something of a magician. Prepare to be amazed.
Teapot.
Inventor. May I present Willy Wonka's wild and wonderful wishy-washy Wonka Walker. Please don't make me say that again. And chocolate maker.
The best chocolate in the world.
Ooh. He's good. Too good.
And anyone can afford them. Even
the poor?
He doesn't like it when people say poor.
Send Wonka a message.
Do not sell chocolate in this town!
You're gonna get more than a bonk on the head.
I love a bonk on the head. What is with me today?
You should stand up to those bullies. Give them the old 1-2.
I got an idea.
Where do we start?
Making chocolate, of course.
Run away!
Every good thing in this world started with a dream. So you hold on to yours.
I guess it's time to change the world.
Lumpa, dumpa diddy. I'm not in premium economy.
Good night, sir. I am going flat.
I think I'm going to watch it. I think
good.
you're familiar with the story, so you know what to come, but you can origin story.
Looks
basically.
amazing.
Yeah, that looks cool. Looks cool. That does it for our big show. Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Yeah, for more information, head to our website, dailyflashshow.com.
We'll see you when we look at you. Bye-bye.